Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
Buckets and Birdies is a weekly glimpse into the worlds of basketball and golf.
We'll also balance national sports trends with ACC insights
and provide a lens of notable happenings of sports in our home state of North Carolina.
Two friends and industry professionals getting together to bring you 23 minutes of fun each week with shared experiences around buckets
and birdies.
He's Carter Bills, sports agent and seasoned consultant in the golf space.
Joining me on the mic is national champion, Tar Heel great, Marcus Ginyard.
Welcome to Buckets and Birdies. Welcome to a special episode of the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
It's Sunday, April 12th. Good to be with you, brother.
Yes, sir. And Carter, this is a Sunday unlike any other.
No doubt. It's Major Championship Sunday, Marcus. We're in Augusta. It's not bad.
We're here at the Wheels Up Clubhouse, just steps away from Augusta National. An amazing venue to be in, a phenomenal place to take in the tournament. Wheels Up is the leader in private aviation. And here at the clubhouse, you got great food, great staff. Again, thank you very much to the Wheels Up crew. We're glad to be here.
And as positive people who love positive things, we'll start as we do always with the quote of the day.
Yes, sir. Carter, the quote of the day today is the most rewarding things you do in life are often the ones that look like they cannot be done.
Arnold Palmer.
Yes, sir.
The great Arnold Palmer. And I think, Marcus, that takes me right into off the top. What a leaderboard we have. I'm thinking it may look like it cannot be done for somebody. I'm thinking someone comes from behind today to win. Rory McIlroy up top. Cam Young, great Saturday yesterday, up top with him at 11 under. But I'm thinking somebody might make a Sunday surge.
Yeah, last night you were talking about Scotty maybe making that move. Playing back right now, but someone who definitely knows what it takes to get the win on a Sunday down here in Augusta. So we'll see what happens. My guys that I picked earlier in the week are definitely not in the running anymore, but that's the beauty about this thing, man. Let's just see what happens.
That's it. I picked Goddard up early in the week. I did say last night, Scotty Scheffler 4 within the lead. I kind of like Scotty on Sunday. When Scotty's coming on Sunday, he starts pressing that gas. But Rory's going to be right there. Awesome to see Sam Burns playing well. He's going to be right there. Cam Young coming off his players win. He's going to be in the mix as well. And I also like Jason Day. Jason Day, for the past few years in a row, has played well at the Masters. He's there again today. What a moment it would be for Jason. Let's let Jason have a Sunday. I'd enjoy that as well.
Carter, I know we're excited. We're here in Augusta on a Sunday, but before we get too deep in the birdies, we got to talk about buckets. We saw a lot of buckets last week, all ending, obviously, with a national champion in Indianapolis. Michigan Wolverines take home the crown.
Yeah, Marcus, this is my favorite week of the year. It always starts with NCAA Tournament National Championship on Monday night for the men.
Yes, sir. So Michigan takes home the crown. They kind of beat the brakes off of UConn there, man. I was expecting a better game.
I was expecting a better game, too. UConn's been really tough, really gritty, prides himself on defense. We talk about them taking on the personality of their coach, and they did that. I think they just got outmatched by a team that's playing better than anybody in the country now, and they proved that.
There's no doubt about it, man. They really took it to everybody. They look like they played with a chip on their shoulder every single game. You got to hand it to them. They played phenomenal throughout the tournament. Really put a stamp on it. Congrats to the Wolverines.
And shout out to Elliot Cadeau, the former Tar Heel, most outstanding player. He was really the engine that could for that team. It all starts with passing and defense, and two things he continued to get better at. Got better at his outside shot and took some pride in being a leader on that team as a first-year player for Michigan, and the Wolverines cut down the nets.
Man, absolutely. He was phenomenal. Congrats to Elliot. Congrats again to Michigan. Great team.
Well, Marcus, in addition to the Final Four in the national championship, there was also some coaching news over the past couple of weeks. Were you busy at all?
Just a little bit, Carter. Just a little bit. No, but obviously we know now the University of North Carolina's got a new men's basketball coach, Mike Malone, who we hired earlier this week. I think it's a phenomenal hire. I'm super excited about it. Someone who comes with a championship pedigree, who's excited about being in Chapel Hill, who has clearly acknowledged and accepted and really kind of leaning into and embracing this idea of the Carolina family and the tradition of Carolina basketball, but also wants to think, with a new lens, right? And also wants to innovate and continue to change as the game is adapting. But I think, balancing those two things and bringing them together is going to be great. But I'm just really fired up about his energy.
That's awesome. I didn't even really know he was in the mix. Sounds like maybe he was longer than most people realize. And I'm excited about it. I didn't know it. They announced it. I'm down here. You're busy. You're working. And it's like, whoa, Mike Malone. I didn't even know, again, he was in the mix. But couldn't be more excited. You start seeing the videos of him being fired up as the coach when he takes the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA championship. And that gives you the feels. He's a winner. He's passionate. He's fiery. His daughter plays volleyball in North Carolina, right? There's connectivity. I heard an interesting story this week, Marcus. that a young Mike Malone in his 20s wrote a letter to then coach Dean Smith, I think 1995. Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse just come off their Final Four game. Coach Smith, they said the first thing he did was call Vince Carter and Antoine Jamison and secure those coming in for the next year, which was the right call. And he responded to a letter of a young man who wrote in, do you have any vacancies on your coaching staff? And the end of the article that I was reading and hearing about, that young man was Mike Malone. And I thought that was special, man. It's like, wow, I've wanted to be a Tar Heel for a long time. Well, Mike Malone, you're now a Tar Heel, and we welcome you into that.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the family. And, that's such an incredible story. Great to see that it comes full circle. And as you mentioned, just again, his energy and his excitement. Got to spend a couple minutes with him earlier this week, or last week for that matter, before his press conference. And, there's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement around this hire. And I know that he's ready to get to work.
And as we look across the Tar Heel state, we had another head coaching hire.
We did, and you called it. We were talking about what NC State was going to do, and you called it. They needed to take a look at Justin Gainey, and they definitely did.
I just wanted to make sure my guy got a look, and man, I'm happy for him. I've seen a lot of people post. He's from High Point, where I'm from. Just excited for him and what opportunity he has, and I hope he's their coach for years to come.
So I know it's super early right now. We just finished college basketball. What do you think is going to happen this offseason, and what is your way too early look at next season?
Ooh, the portal opens right when the national championship finishes. That mix is already going on. Being here in Augusta, I haven't even got a chance to look at who is where, who's even been retained in North Carolina. Way too early. I'd love to see the Tar Heels do well. You know that. I'd love to see my High Point Panthers back in the NCAA tournament again. I did see they retained Cameron Fletcher. Our best player is the only top 100 player to sign out of high school. Started obviously with Coach Cal, as we talked about. The only top 100 player from high school that High Point's really had. And so it's great to have him back, because I thought for sure he put the country on notice and was going to get plucked. So great to see him stay. So it'll be interesting to see who stays and who goes. Dan Hurley's going to have the UConn Huskies right there, restocked, reloaded, and ready to fire again.
No, you make a great point. There's going to be a lot of movement. We got no idea who's going where. But I got a good feeling that, in the triangle and throughout North Carolina, there's going to be some strong teams that get put together. You think about North Carolina looking at some guys from Wake Forest. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting offseason. Coach Malone and all the other coaches got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, another coaching hire across North Carolina. Marcus, how about your boy Wes Miller getting a head coaching job in Charlotte?
I love it. He's from Charlotte. Obviously a dear friend of mine. Played with Wes for a couple years. Unfortunate that it didn't work out in Cincinnati, but I'm very grateful to have him even closer back in the state of North Carolina, in Charlotte. I know that he's going to have the 49ers ready to play this season. Excited to see what that looks like. And you got Marcus Page going to join him. So it's great to, again, keep that Carolina connectivity over there in Charlotte, and really looking forward to seeing them this season.
I think you'll get some Tar Heel fan eyeballs on the Charlotte 49ers program this year because of that. So happy for Wes, happy for Marcus Page.
Listen, I know they're green and white, but there's going to be a lot of Carolina blue in that stadium.
So we talk about this being the greatest week of the year, Marcus. It all started for the NCAA tournament, though, back in March. We do love March. Hard to believe the season's over as the brackets come down. What stuck out to you? What do you remember? What were the highlights or the lowlights of this NCAA tournament season?
Yeah, obviously we're always going to start with Carolina. Unfortunate that we didn't make it out of the first round. Actually, had a guy from VCU here in Augusta remind me of that game. That was how he introduced himself to me this week, which was funny. But, really we saw a lot of teams that we thought would make it to the Final Four, we thought would make it to the Elite Eight, get bounced early. You saw Virginia get knocked out early. We saw Florida get knocked out early. We saw Houston, maybe I would say they got knocked out early.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams that couldn't quite make it through the way that they thought they would. Happy to see that Duke didn't make it too far as well. But, ultimately what we saw was the same thing that we always see. Christmas in March, we see teams that are out there just giving it their all, making history, beating the big guys.
Speaking of Duke going out early, I was not with you playing golf, but how about you and Dion on course watching the tournament live? You're thinking Duke's going to win. I think as you were telling me, you weren't really paying attention. All of a sudden, you and Dion get a little locked in. It's getting closer. It's closer. He hits the three.
Eruption. We went crazy.
Eruption, right? Unbelievable. That was amazing.
I mean, it was the perfect mix of buckets and birdies. You got a bunch of hoopers watching the NCAA tournament in a golf cart. I was not in the fairway. I was way out in the rough. So we figured, let's park this thing. Let's take a look at what's going on. And, every hole, we're seeing the score. Okay, UConn is down 6, UConn's down 4, UConn's down 3. We're like, all right, we got to stop and watch this thing, man. And I'm just glad that I had the camera with me. It was a great moment that we caught out there, man. But that shot, I mean, it just sent me into the stratosphere, man. I loved it. For the one moment, I was a UConn fan.
I'm so glad you had the wherewithal to flick the camera on for a minute. I called you after I saw it. I'm like, hey, was Pablo there? You're like, no, Pablo wasn't there. I just was like thinking, hey, Dukies might go down here. We didn't know in that dramatic a fashion, but what a shot. What a game. I think that's one that's going to be remembered for the rest of the time.
Without a doubt. Immediately, one of those shots that you're going to watch for the next 100 years. You're talking about the NCAA tournament. I mean, that is an iconic NCAA basketball shot.
No doubt. No doubt. It was Houston for me, Marcus.
Okay.
Like thinking about the Cougars, that was my pick to win the national championship, so I didn't do too well there. And yeah, let's think about who made the Final Four from your bracket. I think you had all 2 seeds.
I had all 2 seeds. So I had UConn, and I think that was it, right? It was UConn the only 2 seed. We had UConn, Michigan was a 1 seed, Arizona was a 1 seed, and Illinois was a 3 seed.
That's right.
So yeah, I was 1 for 4, so not great. But I'm pretty sure in one of the brackets that I chose, I had UConn win the championship.
Right.
So I did get them in the national championship game at least. But we talked about this too, Carter. Very glad that they did not win the championship, so we can hold on to our national championship titles.
Hold off on those banners. They've been putting them up there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Michigan State out of that region. I had Houston. I did have Michigan.
Okay.
And then I had Purdue. I think we both had Purdue as the
We
2
did.
seed.
We did both have Purdue.
So UConn marches on. They end up playing Illinois next. Kind of a bruiser game. Made it a little ugly, but 2 tough defensive teams. UConn comes out on top. Then we had Michigan and Arizona. Felt like 1 seed. Probably nobody was playing better than the both of them, so they deserved to be there. And wow, Michigan, what, it was 20-ish? I mean, Michigan really put it on them. And I think, Marcus, Michigan might have set the NCAA tournament record for
Point differential. Yeah, I think you're right.
largest margin of victory,
Yeah, I
which
think
was
you're right.
previously held by the 2009 national champion to my right, and that team, the
Yeah.
North Carolina Tar Heels. So you guys beat everybody by double digits, and they really put it on people this year. It was impressive.
I mean, Michigan really just they put the hammer down, man. Every single game. And again, man, they really played with a chip on their shoulder. They played with energy. They played together. I mean, they played hurt. I mean, they laid it all out on the line. So, I mean, you got to take your hat off to them. They played an incredible tournament.
No doubt.
All right, Carter, we got a lot of birdies to talk about. So as we transition from buckets to birdies, your favorite game, Nets and Jackets, I will give you a year. You will tell me the Masters champion and the NCAA champion. Your year is 1989.
1989 is Michigan Wolverines. Glenn Rice was the most outstanding player. And 1989 is Sir Nick Faldo.
Yes, sir. Bro, all right. So I wanted to shout out the Michigan Wolverines, obviously, winning the national championship. But we talked about the possibility of Rory going back-to-back
Oh, I see what you did there.
and
I like that.
joining a very elite group of folks, Faldo being one of them.
That's right, Marcus. So if Rory completes it, he would be the 4th. What a feat. Going
right.
backwards, Tiger Woods would be the last one to complete that in 2001, 2002. Faldo's won 3, 96, but we go back 89, 90. He
Okay.
did it back-to-back before that. And then Jack Nicklaus, I believe, 1965, 1966. So it's only been done 3 times. Rory could be the 4th.
Carter, we talked a lot about basketball, but obviously we're here in Augusta on this lovely Sunday. We got to start talking about some birdies. However, I'd love to talk about people that check both those boxes, people that check buckets and birdies. We've been bumping into a lot of cool people here this week. Who are some of the people that you've seen?
Man, I really loved seeing Chris Paul. We had a great conversation with Chris Paul, growing up in the same area, watching the success he had, and then the success he's given back to youth basketball now, and just kind of hamming it up with him and talking about the people we knew. I mean, what's the first thing he said to me when he said, "Wait, you're from High Point?" He said, "You know Will Price and Landon Quick?" I'm like, immediately texted him. You know, first thing CP says is your name. So I know that means a lot to Will, who was one of the best players in our area coming up. And Landon was always really good. You know Landon really well, too.
I do, yeah, man. It's super cool to come all the way down here to Augusta, be here for golf, but then meet one of the greatest players to come out of the state of North Carolina, bring it full circle, talk about North Carolina hoops. And again, shout out to CP3 for what he's doing to support youth hoops in the state of North Carolina. We also saw J.R. Smith.
Yep.
We also saw Rich Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a lot of guys here that got a lot of buckets and now love birdies.
I know. All Rich wanted to do was talk about golf. I forgot it. We've seen so many people. I forgot about Rich Paul. Rich might have been my favorite person I've seen. Like he was fantastic to speak to.
And then we also got to run into a Tar Heel fan.
Yep.
Big golf guy, but clearly a hoops guy as well. Our boy Manolo.
Manolo. I know. I'm telling you and Pablo what a Carolina fan he is. And everybody's like, is it really? Was it just a Carolina Duke game? Did he just want to talk about Trimble for 3? But he sat down with you. He talked to us. What did you think? Carolina fan?
Dude, he is definitely a Carolina
For sure,
fan.
man. I love it.
And I can't wait to get him to Chapel Hill for a game. Looking forward to having him and hosting him. Play some golf with him as well. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a great time. What was your favorite thing about Manolo? What was your favorite thing about the discussions we had with him?
The fact that he is just a pure comedian. Literally had me laughing the entire time that we were together. Could hardly talk to him because I was laughing so hard. But clearly just a very energetic and positive guy. And again, man, just really looking forward to hanging with him.
You're right. He is incredibly talented. He started doing like other voices. We heard Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, I didn't know he had that kind of range. I knew he had Manolo range, smack that. I knew he had that kind of range. I didn't know he had Arnold range. Like, unbelievable though. Had us crying.
He did, truly. Awesome dude. Shout out Manolo.
Marcus, who else did you see this week? Who's your favorite or some of your favorites?
Getting to see SVP. That was super cool. We also watched Peyton Manning perform live on stage with Dierks Bentley. That was awesome. Didn't know that he had a music career in him. Who else did we see? We also saw Victor Cruz. We saw Golden Tate. Got to meet Golden Tate here, which is really cool. Minwoo Lee. That was awesome. We saw Danny Willett, former Masters champion as well.
That's right.
Pretty cool, man, to be bumping into all these folks here in Augusta.
Not a terrible week. CC Sabathia.
That's right.
So Marcus, on course, Dr. Condoleezza Rice. I think it's always special seeing her. It's one of the most impressive people maybe in the history of the world.
I was very fortunate to bump into her in Chapel Hill earlier this season when our football team played Stanford. But really cool that she's here, a member of Augusta National. Pretty cool story.
So you mentioned Peyton Manning, Marcus. He was not the headliner. Maybe he was the headline of the night. Who was headlining that show?
That was Dierks Bentley, which was awesome, man. And so we're here thinking about buckets, birdies, but we got to think about some beats too, man. Like I said, we had Dierks Bentley performing. We got our friends right here at Wheels Up Barnstorm. Love those guys. They're doing great work.
From Raleigh.
A lot of them from North Carolina, which is super cool as well. Carter, we also saw Dave Grohl, saw Ryan Tedder right here at Wheels Up. I mean, it's been an incredible week.
My boy Kelly James, you saw?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Shout out
Kelly
KJ.
James. Yes, sir.
Buckets, birdies, and beats. It's been a musical week, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Marcus, by the way, didn't I see a video of our boy Pablo Vega on stage with somebody?
Sure did, man. Our boys at Barnstorm had Pablo up on stage, grabs the mic, and he's singing Boot, Scoot, and Boogie. Dude, it was incredible. I had the crowd going wild. It was awesome.
I hope he was dancing with it. Love me some Pablo. All right, we've talked, Marcus, a lot about all the people and the places, but what's been your favorite thing of the week?
Honestly, just being out on the course. We've always talked about it being the star of the show here this week. It is absolutely stunning out there. And so to be out there earlier in the week for some of the practice rounds and just seeing all the people and the families that gather and come here and just to see that everybody's having such an incredible experience. Obviously, you got to see some really fun golf. I got to see some guys skipping down 16. But really just seeing everybody be so happy to be here. It's a beautiful golf course. So for me, that's been the best experience.
It truly is unlike any other. It's the best, Marcus.
What about you, Carter? What's been your favorite thing this week?
Man, I think my favorite thing is just being with the people. Everybody and a lot of folks that we see come here, it's their first time. And everyone's just ear to ear. As you said, it's the star of the show. And my favorite thing is just seeing people experience it for the first time and love it. And I love that. Marcus, by the way, you met a couple great friends of mine for the first time that I've been dying for you to meet along the way. Awesome influencers, movers and shakers in the golf space. You met Earl and Olajuwon from Eastside Golf. And what did you think about those fellas?
Man, I love meeting Earl and Olajuwon. I love following Eastside Golf, and it's really cool to get a chance to spend some time with those guys. Really looking forward to seeing how they continue to grow their brand and really make a mark on the game of golf. Will Lowry, I had the pleasure of meeting a couple years ago while I was here. Always great to see him. You see him out and about all the time in the golf scene.
Charlotte
really cool.
guy.
Charlotte guy, exactly.
Yeah.
Really cool, bringing that back to North Carolina. Also got to hang out with Teal Barber. Been following him on Instagram for a long time. Also love what he's doing in the content space. But again, just bringing that awareness to golf, making it accessible, making it fun. That's what we're all here for.
I love it.
We talked about the course being the star of the show. It's been giving some players some trouble this weekend. What are you seeing, and how do you think we're going to finish this Sunday?
Well, we saw Rory McIlroy just blow the field away in the first 2 days. And now we've seen some other guys that are right there in the mix on the leaderboard. I think it's shaping up to be another epic Sunday at Augusta.
So Rory, if I'm not mistaken, after the first 2 days, had the largest lead ever.
Largest lead ever.
Interesting. So he's a front runner, obviously. I mean, who else is up there that you think is going to be fighting for the title?
I think Cam Young right there is going to be tough to beat on a Sunday where he's playing more confidently than ever. Sits at third in the world right now, coming off his Players win a couple of weeks back in Ponte Vedra Beach. I mentioned off the top, I think Jason Day is going to make a surge. I got a good feeling about Jason. And gosh, anytime Scotty Scheffler is within 4 or 5 shots of the lead on Sunday, he's got an ability to press the gas, Marcus, that maybe we haven't seen since Tiger Woods.
Wow. That's a big name to be dropping. We haven't talked about Shane Lowry.
Ooh,
he's in the mix.
Firmly in the mix. Hole in one yesterday.
That's right. On 6.
Big roars. Big roars.
So, I mean,
Shane is not afraid. Shane could very much do this. And Shane is just an awesome guy. Shane would be a great champion.
And Carter, you're talking about moments here in Augusta. Clearly Sunday is full of them, right? But Rory's got an opportunity to go back-to-back. And that's only been done, what, 2 times? 3 times?
2 times. This would be the 4th time ever back-to-back champion, yeah.
So that could be an interesting storyline, too.
Unbelievably special, and he'd be an unbelievable back-to-back champion. He's already won for the ages, and it'd be just another jewel in his crown. All right, guys, that's all for today.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Buckets and Birdies podcast, live from the Wheels Up Clubhouse.
That's 23 minutes of our thoughts for you. For Marcus Ginyard, I'm Carter Bills.
We'll catch you next time.
You good, you good, you good.